The sales manager's smug grin vanished the moment I slid 2 pieces of paper across his desk. On one, my friend's real income, barely enough to survive. On the other, the number his dealership had told the bank, $70,000. His face went pale. He knew he was caught. By the end of that day, he'd be begging us to take a better car for free. If you've ever dreamed of turning the tables on someone trying to take advantage of you, or watching karma hit faster than a speeding car, hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready. This is the story of how I turned a crooked dealership scam into the sweetest revenge. It was the first week of January, 2020. Cold, gray, the kind of month that makes life feel heavier. My phone buzzed. It was my buddy, Jake. Now, I love Jake, but sometimes he makes creative financial choices. And this time, he had outdone himself. Dude, I just bought a brand new car. I congratulated him until he told me the payment, $795 a month. I almost dropped my coffee. Jake worked as a shift supervisor at McDonald's, barely $10 an hour, maybe 30 hours a week. After taxes, he cleared about $1,200 a month. And now he owed more than half that for a car he couldn't afford, plus $400 in insurance. He sounded panicked. That mix of shame and fear, it hit me. He wasn't bragging, he was drowning. I'd sold cars for years, so I told him, bring me every scrap of paperwork. We're going to figure this out. That night, I spread the documents across my kitchen table. It looked like a crime scene, and, oh, it was. The dealer had pulled every sleazy move in the book. Overpriced warranty, random protection packages, sky-high APRs. Legal? Maybe. Moral? Absolutely not. But the real kicker, no bank should have approved Jake for $795 a month on that income. Banks aren't saints, but they're not that dumb. I dug deeper. On Jake's handwritten finance application, the one he actually signed, his real income was there, $14,000 a year. Then I found the electronic version the dealership sent to the bank. Pulse racing, I read it. They'd listed Jake as the general manager of McDonald's, making $70,000 a year. This wasn't just on distant, it was bank fraud, a felony. Cold, righteous anger settled in. They hadn't just taken advantage, they'd forged a whole story to squeeze a sale. And suddenly, I knew exactly how we were going to fix it. The next morning, Jake and I walked into the dealership, his shoulders slumped, hands buried in his hoodie pocket. Me? I walked in on a mission. We asked for the sales manager. "Hey, what can I do for you guys?" he said, slick, lazy confidence dripping from his voice. I smiled. "We're here to unwind the deal and get my friend's trade-in back." He laughed. Then he called the general manager. Polished shoes, fake friendliness. "What seems to be the problem?" he asked. I didn't answer. I slid the 2 finance applications across the desk. Handwritten, $14,000. Electronic, $70,000. Silence. His face drained. He knew exactly what this was. Your dealership just committed bank fraud. Felony bank fraud. We can keep this simple, or let a consumer protection attorney and the state attorney general make life very, very complicated. I saw the calculation in his eyes. He knew I wasn't bluffing. Finally, okay, what can I do to make this right? Unwind the deal, cancel the contract, give Jake his trade-in back. The GM hesitated. We already sold his trade-in. I nodded, unfazed. Then you're going to put him in something equal or better today. He blinked. You want me to give him a car? No, I said, leaning back. You already took his car. You profited, and you committed a felony. This isn't charity, this is you correcting your mistake. He bristled. I'm giving him a free car. No, you're avoiding felony charges. That's the difference. If this is the best you can do, we'll leave and call a consumer protection attorney. 5 tense minutes later, the GM returned. We have a 2008 Civic, 5,000 more miles than your trade-in, but it's a Civic. Better car. I'll unwind the deal, cancel the loan, and you drive out today, no extra cost. I glanced at Jake. His eyes lit up. Victory. I said, draw up the papers. Within an hour, we walked out with a reliable Civic. The predatory loan? Gone. Jake's nightmare? Over. The dealership? Left holding a brand new car they'd have to sell as used. Jake laughed, a sound of pure relief, pure triumph. That moment, that mix of triumph and justice was perfect. I'd walked in with nothing but the truth and forced them to correct every wrong. The GM's tight-lipped humiliation, the cherry on top. Deep down, he knew how close he'd come to losing everything. Jake, from terrified and trapped to free and in a better car than he'd started with. Sometimes revenge isn't loud. Sometimes it's signing one document and watching the other guy squirm. That day reminded me, the world is full of people who will take advantage if you let them. Knowledge is power, and sometimes the sweetest revenge is holding people accountable and walking away with your head high. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button. Tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen or pulled off? And of course, subscribe for more stories where the bad guys get exactly what they deserve.